Bruh. Stop whatever you're doing, because young Thug just turned the rap game upside down. Again. The man who once called himself slimy but stylish might have just slimed his way straight into another courtroom drama. And this time, it's messier than a Love and Hip Hop reunion special. You thought 2025 was chill? Nah. The streets are louder than a Drake vs. Kendrick diss week right now. Young Thug's arrest just dropped like an album nobody pre-saved, but everyone's streaming. They said the law was watching him, but apparently they were binge-watching like it was Netflix's next crime series. The way this case unfolded, it's giving Breaking Bad Atlanta edition. Because here's the crazy part. This arrest wasn't random. It wasn't overnight. This was months, no, years, of tension, leaks, rumors, and whispers louder than a barbershop debate about who's better, Lil Baby or Gunna. And now, the silence is broken. The feds moved in like they just got early access to the next season of chaos. So let's rewind, because this story is of pure insanity wrapped in designer denim. Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, the man who changed rap fashion, blurred the line between gangsta and glam, and made it cool to wear a blouse with a Glock, has just been cuffed again. And the internet? Bro, it exploded faster than Blueface's relationship updates. According to the early leaks, and you know how leaks go, they hit faster than TMZ after Celebrity Meltdown, authorities claim Thug was involved in ongoing organized activity. Translation: they're basically saying the slime life wasn't just a vibe, it was a business model. Now, if you remember, back in the day when the YSL Rico case blew up, everyone said Thug would never walk free again. But somehow, the man turned the courtroom into a runway and came out with more confidence than ever. He was quiet for a while, moving low-key, recording behind the scenes, smiling in interviews like he left the drama behind. But apparently, the past doesn't stay buried. It leaks like an unreleased Drake track. Because last night, boom, word spreads that young Thug has been arrested again. This time in what sources are calling a continuation of previous investigations. And bro, the footage, it's wild. Cameras caught Thugger being led out in cuffs, head down, hoodie up, with fans screaming his lyrics in the background. Imagine getting arrested while people chant, "I'm up, I'm up, I'm up." That's not a normal Tuesday. That's cinematic humiliation. Now, here's the part that's making fans lose their minds. The feds apparently raided a studio connected to YSL. Yes, the same YSL that's been under the microscope since 2022. And let's just say, what they found wasn't exactly microphones and melodies. Early whispers talk about digital evidence, communications, and unreleased recordings. Bro, if that means songs are being used as evidence again, oh, it's about to get spicy. Because remember when prosecutors used Thug's lyrics as proof of crimes? The internet nearly broke. Rap fans called it the death of creative freedom, while haters called it karma on beat. And now they're saying new lyrics could connect to recent unsolved incidents. What? So Thug might have just dropped bars that dropped clues? This man might have wrapped himself into another case. But here's what really has everyone suspicious: the timing. Just days ago, Thug's label was teasing a comeback project. Billboards went up in Atlanta saying, "Slime season never ends." Well, looks like it just did. Coincidence? Please. Nothing's a coincidence in hip-hop. The industry moves like chess, not checkers. And every time Thug's about to rise, the law somehow finds a new file labeled, "Open Me When He's Winning." Fans are calling it a setup. Twitter's melting down. One user said they were scared of Thug because he was about to take over again. Another wrote, "They can't stop the Slime King. He'll beat the case and drop a mixtape the same day." Bro, the loyalty this man gets could start a religion. But at the same time, the streets are whispering different stories. The kind of whispers that sound like, yo, maybe this time the feds actually got him. And that's the real tension here. Half the internet's screaming, "Free Thugger!" while the other half's like, bro, maybe it's time he faces the music, literally and legally. But here's where it gets darker. Some reports say this new arrest links to people from his old circle, names we thought were long gone from the YSL era. Apparently, one of them flipped. Yup, snitched. Dropped information like it was a SoundCloud leak. You know what that means. Someone close to Thug might have traded loyalty for freedom. The rap game's Judas story just got another chapter. And bro, the memes are ruthless. Someone posted a picture of Thug's mugshot next to a green slime emoji with the caption, "They finally cleaned up the slime." Another wrote, "At this point, Thug's courtroom should have his own section on Spotify. Teach you? Dark humor, but kinda true. Even rappers are reacting." Lil Baby posted a cryptic story, just 3 words. "Not again, bro." Gunna hasn't said a thing, which of course made people go wild. Comment sections filled with "he's scared to speak" and "he's next." You know it's real when the silence is louder than the statements. But here's what nobody's talking about: Thug's mental state before the arrest. Insiders say he was acting off, stressed, paranoid, and distant. He'd stopped going out, barely responded to texts, and was seen recording alone for hours. One engineer even said he was laying down tracks like he knew something was coming. Chills, right? It's like the man predicted his own downfall, bar by bar. And that's why people are calling this the most haunting comeback collapse in modern rap history. Imagine being on the edge of dropping your biggest project in years, and the next morning, your name's trending for all the wrong reasons. And let's not pretend the system didn't want this headline. The media lives for a rapper in cuffs. It's their Super Bowl. They'll replay the same clip 400 times, slap on a grim headline like Young Thug's Empire Falls, and act like they just solved world peace. But what they don't tell you is that half of these sources are unverified. Half the evidence is speculation. And the real story? It's buried under sensational noise. But don't worry, because we dig deeper here. Behind the headlines, there's something bigger, something off. People close to Thug are saying this new arrest connects to an old betrayal. Someone from inside his team, maybe even a collaborator, handed over data that led to the warrant. So this ain't just about law and order. It's about revenge, loyalty, and ego. 3 things that fuel every tragedy in hip-hop. And as the cameras flashed and the cuffs clicked, Thug didn't say a word. "No, I'm innocent. No, free me." Just that same cold stare that says, "You'll hear the truth in the music." The internet's waiting. The streets are buzzing. And somewhere someone who once called him bro is probably sipping something expensive, pretending they had nothing to do with it. This story? Oh, it's just getting started. Because when it comes to Young Thug, every arrest feels like the start of another saga, a twisted mixtape of betrayal, power, and fame. And trust me, what's coming next will make this part look like the calm before the lyrical storm. If you thought Young Thug's arrest was the main event, oh no, my friend. What came next made the internet look like the Super Bowl of chaos. The second those cuffs clicked, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram turned into digital crime scenes. Everyone, from rappers to randos with anime profile pics, suddenly became legal experts, detectives, and philosophers. The memes? Ruthless. The reactions? Radioactive. The energy? Like Doja Cat at a devil-themed Grammy party. Unhinged but iconic. The first clip that went viral was shaky footage of Thug being escorted to a blacked-out SUV, surrounded by flashing lights and reporters yelling questions like they were auditioning for TMZ. "Is it true, Thugger?" He said nothing, just stared, like a man who's seen too many snakes in his circle and not enough loyalty. But silence. Oh, that only made the internet louder. Within hours, hashtags exploded. Just Free Thug trended at #1 worldwide. Then someone else started Slime Rico Season like it was a mixtape promo. And bro, the memes. They were dropping faster than SoundCloud remixes. One meme had Thug's mugshot photoshopped into a GTA Atlanta cover. Another said, "The only thing young about Thug now is his bail hearing." Twitter was wildin'. One user wrote, "Bro wore a dress to beat the system, but the system wore a suit to beat him." That tweet alone got 500,000 likes. Then came the celebrity reactions. And oh boy, this is where it turned from tragedy into a reality show. Lil Baby posted 3 words on his story. "Not again, bro." That was enough for fan pages to go full FBI mode. Comments flooded in. They knew something. And Baby was warning us. Meanwhile, Gunna, the man at the center of the YSL loyalty controversy, stayed silent. Dead silent. Which of course only fueled the drama. Fans spammed his Instagram comments like, "Say something, bro. You next? Don't delete your stories, the street's watching." When silence speaks louder than words, you know it's serious. Then Future popped up on X, Twitter, with the most cryptic message ever. "Some people talk more than they rap." Boom. Internet explosion. Everyone was like, is he talking about Gunna? Or Thug? Or himself? Bro dropped one line and went offline like he just set fire to the timeline. But wait, then Drake liked to post about industry snakes. The comment section looked like a war zone. Half the fans were screaming, "Drake's showing love to Thug," and while the other half said, "He's low-key shading him." You can't win on the internet, especially when fans treat everyone like it's a supreme drop. Even Nicki Minaj chimed in during an Instagram live saying, "I don't know what's real anymore, but I know the industry's dirty. It's never what it seems." The barbs, the stands, the entire rap world froze. Because when Nicki calls the game dirty, you know somebody's washing their hands in bleach. Then, as if social media wasn't already foaming at the mouth, leaked jail audio hit the web. Some anonymous account posted a snippet allegedly of Thug talking to someone on the phone saying, "They ain't break me. They never could." It was short, low quality, but that didn't matter. Within an hour, every gossip page from Say Cheese to the Shade Room reposted it with bold red captions like, "Leaked call, Young Thug speaks from jail." Bro, you would have thought it was a Drake feature the way people were replaying that clip. But here's where things went nuclear. Because this leak wasn't just a random call. People said it was proof Thug knew someone inside his circle betrayed him. And the internet being the internet, they immediately decided it was Gunna. Gunna's mentions turned into a war zone. Memes of him as 6699's replacement flooded timelines. Someone even photoshopped a picture of Gunna with a Subway sandwich and the caption, "You want that plea deal toasted or cold, bro?" Bro, cruel, but also kind of viral. Meanwhile, the fanbase was split like a bad breakup. On one side, the die-hard Thug supporters screaming, "They just want to silence the real ones." On the other, the cynics saying, if he did the crime, he gotta do the time. And then in the middle, the chaos consumers, the people who don't care about justice or guilt, they just want the next meme. One user tweeted, "This makes the Kardashians look boring." And honestly, they weren't lying. The level of betrayal, mystery, and ego in this story could give HBO a new series. But it wasn't just the fans talking. Inside the industry, people were terrified. Producers started deleting old photos with Thug. Bloggers were told to chill with the slime references. Even fashion collabs went silent overnight. When you're too toxic for Balenciaga, that's when you know the brand's sweating. And the wildest rumor of all? Someone claimed a few unreleased studio hard drives got seized during the raid. The kind of drives that hold years of unreleased songs. That's basically a goldmine of Thug's creative soul in police custody. And the kicker? The feds might be reviewing those lyrics again for evidence. Déjà vu, same playbook, different year. It's like they can't decide if he's a rapper or a walking criminal. Imagine being arrested and the prosecutor pulls up Genius. Calm-like, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Exhibit A, I'll hit the block in designer socks." Bro, this is what happens when prosecutors start believing rap songs are documentaries. But you can't kill a movement that's already a meme. Free Thug shirts started popping up online faster than you could refresh Shopify. Fans changed their profile pics to green slime emojis. Even random influencers jumped on the trend for clout. TikTok challenges started. Was slime support. People pretending to call their homies like Thug's jail call audio. Insensitive? Yeah. Viral? Definitely. And then came the inside sources. You know the ones. The mysterious accounts with names like a Rap Leaks 247 or industry plugs that claim to know someone who knows someone. They started dropping exclusive info like, word is, Thug's lawyer is already prepping a bombshell counterattack. Or, feds only got him on paper, not on proof. But let's be real. Half of those accounts are probably run by 16-year-olds with Photoshop. Still, that didn't stop the drama. Every rumor turned into a headline. Every screenshot became a leak. Every emoji from a celebrity story turned into evidence. The entire internet was conducting a trial before the actual trial even began. And bro, the memes just kept escalating. Someone made a fake Netflix poster called "Making of a Slime, the YSL Story." Another posted Thugg's photo with the caption, "Y'all said he was the voice of the streets. Now he's the voicemail." That's evil genius humor. The internet doesn't sleep. It screenshots, laughs, and reloads. But in the middle of the madness, a strange shift happened. People started realizing how big of a hole this leaves in hip-hop. Love him or hate him, Young Thug wasn't just another rapper. He reshaped the sound. Without him, half of modern traps wouldn't exist. So when his name got dragged through court again, it wasn't just gossip. It was cultural panic. Because when the pioneers fall, everyone starts looking over their shoulder. Who's next? Who's being watched? Suddenly, the industry started whispering again. Yo, you think they're targeting artists? Is it a pattern? Is this hip-hop or high-stakes chess? The paranoia was real, and that's why this story hit harder than most. Because it's not just about one artist. It's about a whole era of rap being put on trial, one lyric at a time. But no matter how dark it gets, Thug's name won't fade easily. Even behind bars, he's a headline, a hashtag, a movement. Every post, every rumor, every reaction. It keeps his legacy alive in the wildest way possible. And the fans? They're not done. They want answers. They want revenge. They want to know who snitched. Because in the streets, snitching is worse than losing. So now, with the memes cooling down and the world still arguing, the stage is set. The industry's tense. The fans are restless. And somewhere, behind those cold walls, Young Thug is sitting silent, plotting his next move like the chess player he's always been. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Thug, it's that he doesn't go down easy. He disappears, and then comes back louder than ever. And something tells me, this storm isn't the end. It's just the middle of a story the world can't stop watching. And just like that, silence. After weeks of memes, chaos, and courtroom headlines, the noise around Young Thug's arrest started fading. But what's left behind? A crater in the middle of hip-hop, filled with suspicion, loyalty tests, and one name that still refuses to disappear. Thugger. Because let's be honest, when Thug goes quiet, that's when things get scary. It's like the calm before a lyrical earthquake. The industry's still shaking, not because of the handcuffs, but because nobody knows what's next. The fallout hit fast. Endorsements froze, sponsors ghosted, and even playlist curators on Spotify started mysteriously removing his features like they were wiping fingerprints. One week, he was headlining festivals. The next, his name vanished from the lineup faster than Kanye's last apology post. Producers who once bragged about having a Thug placement suddenly started speaking in past tense. You'd hear things like, "Yeah, bro, I worked with him once. Crazy experience." As if proximity to Thug was radioactive now. And the fans? Oh, they weren't having it. Twitter threads turned into digital riots. People began calling out the hypocrisy. Y'all scream free Thug, but still streaming Gunna's tracks? The comment sections became the new trenches. It wasn't just about justice anymore. It was about loyalty politics. Because every post, every collab, every like, it all meant something now. In this twisted digital soap opera, silence equals guilt, and a heart emoji can start a war. But behind the social media circus, something darker was brewing. Insiders claimed Thug was preparing a final statement. Not through interviews, not through court, but through music. Word on the street was that he'd recorded over 40 tracks before the arrest. Messages, confessions, warnings. One engineer leaked that Thug told him, "If they take me again, let the music talk." And that's exactly what fans are waiting for. The post-arrest project rumored to be titled Silent Slime. Bruh. If that's real, it's going to break the internet harder than when Tupac dropped Machiavelli. Because when Thug speaks through his music, it's never random. It's coded, emotional, and dangerous. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, the vibe has shifted. The same city that crowned Thug King now feels split. Half mourning, half moving on. Street murals of him appeared overnight, painted with halos and chains, with captions like, "Free the voice of the South." That's not fandom, that's mythology. But while fans are making murals, prosecutors are making moves. Leaked reports suggest new witnesses came forward, including someone from inside YSL's inner circle. If that's true, this case might stretch into 2026, and the longer it drags, the more Thug's legacy gets tangled in a web of half-truths and online debates. Still, no matter what comes out, one fact remains. Young Thug isn't just a rapper. He's a symbol. A symbol of rebellion, creativity, chaos, and everything the industry both loves and fears. The man blurred lines between gangster and genius, between trap and couture. And now, he's paying the price for living without limits. The craziest part? Even locked up, Thug's influence refuses to die. New artists are still copying his sound, his cadence, his alien flow. Every time a young rapper uses a vocal glitch or melodic growl, that's Thug's DNA right there. You can't cancel a culture. It's poetic. They took the man, but not the movement. Like they locked the storm, but forgot the thunder was still echoing. But let's talk about the real aftermath. The emotional one. People close to him say Thug has gone cold. No more flashy energy, no fake smiles, just a man reflecting on who he trusted and who sold him out. One source said, "He's not mad, he's disappointed. That's worse." It is different when betrayal doesn't come from enemies, but from people you fed, paid, and called family. And that's what makes this story more tragic than criminal. It's not just about breaking laws, it's about breaking trust. The industry's moving, sure. New music, new headlines, new distractions. But every time something happens, Thug's shadow shows up like a ghost reminder of how quickly it all can fall apart. One wrong call, one snitch, one lyric out of context. Boom, career gone. And yet, here's the irony. For someone trapped behind bars, young Thug has never been more free in people's minds. He's become the ultimate cautionary tale and cult hero at the same time. To some, he's proof that the system's corrupt. To others, he's proof that fame can't hide the streets forever. But to everyone, he's unforgettable. So what happens now? Rumor has it, his team's working on legal appeals, documentaries, and that massive posthumous-style album rollout. Imagine the moment that first song drops from behind bars. That silence before the beat hits, the internet holding its breath. And then that raspy voice says, "Y'all thought the slime dried up." That's when chaos restarts. Because if there's one thing history's taught us, you can lock up a person, but you can't cage a legacy. And Young Thug's, it's still writing itself, one headline at a time. And there you have it, folks. Another chapter in the wild, unpredictable movie we call the rap game. From private jets to prison cells, Young Thug's story just proved one thing. Ain't nobody untouchable in hip-hop. Not even the Slime King himself. But let's be real. This ain't over. If history taught us anything, it's that every time Thug goes silent, he's just loading the next verse. So whether he's in a studio or a cell, the streets still echo with that same energy. Free Thug, forever. Now, if you made it this far, you're officially part of the real ones. Not the fake comment section lawyers or TikTok detectives. Nah, you're part of the RAPSCOPE X family. The crew that digs deeper, talks louder, and never sugarcoats the truth. So here's the deal. Hit that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe, because we drop stories the mainstream's too scared to touch. And drop a comment below, free slime or fair time. I want to see where y'all stand. No cap, I'll be reading every single one. And yo, don't sleep. The next story, it's even crazier. Let's just say, another rapper's about to catch the internet on fire and you'll want to be here before the chaos hits. So keep your eyes locked, your speakers up, and remember, this ain't just news, it's hip-hop history in real time. I'm your host, and this was RAPSCOPE X, where the truth always sounds better with bass. I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay woke, stay wild, and stay tuned. Stay tuned.